can't stand close. Okay, so thanks for coming to 60 and 60. That was 60 and 60 seconds. I'll see y'all later. That was all 60 tools minus one. Take one away plus one, and I'll tell you that in a little bit. I'm already ahead. I'm Brandon Lutz, and I lost my business card. There it is. I'm an instructional technology specialist in the School District of Philadelphia, and this is 60 and 60. 60 and 60 concept is a wine tasting web tools. I dropped the 2.0 because not all these are web 2.0 tools. These are web tools. So you're literally going to see this for a short period of time, anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and a half, and we're going to move on. The idea is for me to show you sites that you might be interested in, get 60 of those sites, and all you might be interested in different sites. So all those different sites, and hopefully if you walk away with 5 to 10 sites that you can use in your professional life, your personal life, in your classroom if you're a teacher, with your staff, then I've done my job, okay? So that's what 60 and 60 is. I said before, there's a cheat sheet you can download, and there's also you can do the ask questions with the today's meet, because I can't really take questions because I have to get through 60 sites in 60 minutes, and I pretty much guarantee that. I've never failed that, so I don't want this to be the first, especially with such a large audience. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Ready? Your brain's probably going to explode, and a lot of people are like, I've had too much, I'm leaving. And they're out the door. So, and that's all right, you know. If this isn't for you, I have no problem if you need to leave. So, you know, I'd much rather have you go somewhere else that you find that's real beneficial, but I think you'll like what I have to offer. Okay? All right. All right, so I used Animoto to create the 60 sites in 60 seconds there. Animoto is a great site to create. You can add your own pictures. You can pick your own audio, or you can add audio with your that students or yourself have created. And now you can actually add text. So here's an example of a teacher that took the Canterbury Tales and shared this with their students. It's a 5-minute video. I only did about 30 seconds here, just to give you the idea how you can use Animoto in your classroom to engage students. And it sort of goes pictures and talks about the different characters. Lots of different things you can do with Animoto. That's just one piece that a teacher did of mine. Pretty cool. Great site. So Prezi. I hear some people going on the site now. All right, Prezi. This whole presentation is a Prezi, so I'm not going to really get into it. Great resource for presentations. Absolutely incredible. Best of all, it's free. If you want students to create Prezis, they can work on them at home because it's web-based. They can work on them at school. A lot of times kids don't have PowerPoint at home. They want to work in PowerPoint. They're stuck working on it at school. I don't know about you, but in my classrooms with 7-step lesson plans and stuff like that, teachers and students don't have a lot of time to do projects. So kids want to take stuff. If they have internet at home, they can work on these projects at home. You're going to hear me talk about that a lot. Pearl trees. This is a site I just found in December. It's pretty cool. So the concept is like bookmarking, but it's a more visual format. And it actually, you create these pearls, which are like folders. And a pearl can be a folder, like, say, Web 2.0 tools. And then within that pearl, you can have other sites. So this is just a snapshot of my whole Perl trees. And I put every 60 and 60 site in a Perl. So up here you see the Perl. It's sort of hard to see. It's a little pixelated. But all those sites. Plus, I have all those other bubbles that you really can't see because of, I guess, the projector. But it actually I have different, break things apart. The best of all, there's a Firefox add-on. I can click on it, and if I'm on a website I like, I can click on it, click on a Perl, go down to the Perl that I really want to put into. So say it's a podcasting site, I can go down, put the podcasting, and boom, that site automatically goes into my Perl tree on the podcasting side. You can also share out a whole Perl. So, you know, I can embed it in a wiki or email it out to people. And there's an image of the 60 tools in 60 and 60. All right, how am I doing on time? I'm at 4, and we're at 4. That's good. And you're going to keep me going, because if I'm behind, it's going to be hard in the end. All right, only 2 clicks. This site is another bookmarking site. Really cool, though, because it's literally the topic and then the site. So, for instance, this is actually Joyce Lenza. She has all the different types of tools she's in the classroom. And then so you click on digital storytelling that I have up there, and then it gives a visual of the site. So it actually takes a live current snapshot of what the site looks like right now, and you can see it. So kids are visual, you know, adults are visual. They can click on the site that works for them, you know, and you can also customize that title as well. I've also created only 2 clicks for the 60 and 60, so you can go see a visual format for every site that we're going over today. All right, so and that's all in the examples and stuff, and on the Prezi and in the cheat sheet as well. Dropbox. All right, this is like one of my last year's favorite tool. I had a teacher. She had all her documents saved on her computer. Her hard drive crashed. Yeah, hard drive crashed. Right? She lost everything. Well, with Dropbox, if it's a cloud-based syncing system, but you download it and you have a folder that looks like a regular folder. It says Dropbox on your folder. If you save stuff here, for instance, my whole entire presentation, the Prezi, I downloaded all, and I worked on 2 different computers. Well, as long as I'm saving on Dropbox, it automatically syncs to the web, as long as I have internet, and it syncs down to my home computer. So I'm constantly backing up my data using Dropbox. You get 2 gig for free, and then you can get up to 8 gig if you suggest people. And on the, I think I have a link here somewhere that will actually connect to you. And so, of course, I just went without my pictures here, but you can go. Their data's in the cloud. You can so you can share like a whole folder with somebody, email that out so you can offer them the files. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you back up your data, right? And with 2 gig, you're only backing up probably what's most important to you. But if you spend a lot of time on interactive whiteboard charts and lesson plans and stuff like that, the crucial data I put in there, right? And then you also have it accessible also on your mobile phone too. So that's Dropbox. But with Dropbox, you can add Drop It To Me. This is awesome. I know you're going to hear me say that probably 1,200 times. I'm sorry about that. But I love this. So you can actually create a unique URL. So mine's Drop It To Me /blot01. And you get this. You come to this page. You can put the password in. So somebody can't send you, because they'll be sending a file directly to your computer. So you want to make sure it's password protected, right? So as long as your students know your password, you could put that in there, click log in, and now they can browse just like attaching an email. And there you go. They have, the file gets sent directly within a minute or 2. You have the file sent in your class. What a great way to collect files from your students, real quick and easy, just like they're attaching to an email. I don't know about you. I've done the email thing with students, and you get like 50 emails, and you got to go through each one and download each one. This goes directly into that, and it's actually a Drop It To Me folder within the Dropbox that it comes into. The key thing with this, though, you want to create a naming convention. Because if you have more than one class or more than one staff, if you're an administrator, you want them to put in, like I always say, put your room name, your room number, period, and the name of the document, or some type of naming convention. So then you can sort it and copy and paste, put them right into different folders if you had to. Instead of, because here's what they'll do. If they don't think the naming convention, and you name the document, 60 and 60, you're going to get documents called 60 and 60, and they're going to be overwriting each other on the Dropbox and Drop It To Me. You're not going to get the files. So naming convention is key when you're doing Drop It To Me. GE.TT. This site is a file sharing site. So have you ever been in a training or something, and somebody gives you a flash drive and they pass it all around? And you waste like 30 minutes sometimes because everyone needs the data. You can't get started, right? Well, with this, you can actually create, and this, if you download the Prezi, because this is what, if you want to download the Prezi later on, you can actually use this for the Prezi. So you can actually share this unique URL that's up there, and then you can actually click on download, and they'll download the file. So now everyone can know that URL from the web browser and download that file at the same time. Now everyone gets the data at the same time. No flash, no sharing the flash drive around, and you're ready to get moving on your presentation. That's my biggest pet peeve is when I go to a presentation, they don't start for half an hour. You ever notice? You know what? If you say you're going to start at 8:30, let's start at 8:30. And people get irritated because I started at 8:30 because, hey, it's your time's precious, right? All right, let's move on. Zamzar. YouTube's is blocked in my school district, okay? So teachers, now with the interactive whiteboards coming and everything, they have these files that, and even if it's not blocked, I still suggest you do this. You can actually use Zamzar to download your video. So you put the URL from YouTube. You say whatever format you want to convert it to, so Mac, Move, and PC, WMV, right? You put in there, you put your email address in. 5 minutes later, you get an email with a link. You can download that video and have it locally on your computer. Pretty powerful, right? And now you can put that in your flip chart or your smart notebook or wherever, or have it in a folder. And now you have that file for later on that you can share. You're not searching for it again next year when you teach the same lesson, right? Because you have the files, the movies, they're available. So also, I had a student that came in and had to publish a file. And I don't have a publisher on the computers at school. So you can actually use it to convert files. So I browsed the file, published a file in there, converted it to Microsoft Word. I put in my email address. I press send. A few minutes later, I get an email. I download. Now her document in Word format. She can now work on it at school. Pretty cool. All right. So Zamzar was like the end-all, be-all. And then a few months ago, I found Video Download Helper. If you have Firefox, Video Download Helper. Oh, actually, I lied. I got a video that tells you this. I don't need to tell you.
Okay, so this is Video Download Helper. This is an add-on through Firefox that allows you to download music and videos directly from a website onto your computer. So here's the page you would go to if you wanted to add that add-on to Firefox. So up here, I'm going to click on TeacherTube. I already have a video playing that I want to just download right to my computer. So all I do is go up to this little box here that's got the red, blue, and yellow ball. Click on here. Click on the file, and it automatically brings it up to download. Select where I want to download it, and it downloads the file.
It's that quick and easy. I mean, literally. And sometimes if there's ads and other videos, you have to decipher between which is what. But you download it, it comes down instantly, downloads right into a folder instantly. Pretty cool. You can use that with any file, any video file or audio file on any website. So copyright. You might have an issue, with doing stuff like that, but so be aware of that. But pretty useful. So it's just a Firefox add-on, and it comes alive when it has some type of file it can download. All right, how am I doing time-wise? All right, I'm 1 minute behind. That's not bad. Symbaloo. Symbaloo is another bookmarking site, but the reason why I share this is because I saw a video, and I could not find it. I wanted to put on here. If I can, I will post it. But it showed a student using Symbaloo as a student portal. So their teachers have different wikis or websites and resources, and they have their email address and their Dropbox account, all this other stuff they have. Well, this is a real visual format they can use as their home screen that they can actually access, every site that impacts them or that they use in one place. And in the video, she really showed how this was her portal and kept her organized to get everywhere she needed to go. And I don't know about you, but there's been times I sit down on the computer to do one thing and an hour goes by. I'm like, what did I just do? So if we can, and kids are even worse, right? So if we can focus them and say, all right, you have your area, now you're going to do schoolwork, and they're focused in that area, hopefully they're going to be able to stay on task a little bit longer and not lose that time, right? And here's just another example. You can do your own images and stuff like that, so you can be real. And I played around with this to do in a front for myself. It's just taking the time to actually create it. That Shmoop. Shmoop, I see a lot of people hearing some noise. A lot of people know Shmoop. I think Shmoop's like Cliff Notes, right? But it's just not for literature anymore. They have math and social studies and history and all kinds of other resources here. But it's a pretty cool site that I think I have it zoomed in here. So there's just an example of night. Summary, theme, quotes, characters, analysis, questions, photos. Some of my students in Philadelphia, they're not great readers. All right? But this breaks it down for them a little bit, you know, and helps them to see it. Yes, of course, they're supposed to read the novel, but if they're having issues, and, you know, when I read, I don't retain a lot, you know. This really, when I was a kid, this type of stuff really helped me because it broke it down and let me see the most important materials. And there's actually a site later on I'm going to show you that could go really well with this, and teachers can help students using it. But yeah, just a really good resource. Free Rice. This site, familiar with it, absolutely awesome. So it reinforces math, geography, art, language arts, chemistry, and English. So you can actually go in, and the best thing about it is you're earning rice for a third world country. So, you know, you click on, let's see what I have here. So simple. You have a student that's struggling with basic math skills. You could tell them to go in here, make it a little contest. Who can get the most rice, right? I had a student one day, I showed this to him. He came back and said, I got 10,000 grains of rice. 10,000 grains of, you know, kids, by showing them this, some kids are going to like it. They're going to reinforce because they enjoy it. This also connects to Facebook now. They have like a Web 2.0, like there's 2.0 version. Yeah, here's another. This is just using vocabulary. You know, and you click on it, and it actually tells you how many you've gotten right in a row. And then here's for science. What's the symbol for silver? And you can click on it, and it just accumulates that rice. And you can actually compete against your classmates. You can create a group. So you could actually have your different classes. Who's going to create the most rice? You know, get the most rice, and then maybe have a prize for that class. And, you know, it just gets them motivated and on their own working on basic skills, right? And there's also languages. I don't know if I said that or not. Aviary. This is a site I just got turned on to maybe a couple months ago, and I have not gotten in depth with it as much as I'd like. But it pretty much provides, you know, think of Adobe products. It really is a free version that kids can use to do, you know, edit photo effects, merge photos, all this. Design. You can actually crop out, make PNG files, you know, where you can not make it a triangle or a rectangle, but you can just make it around the person so they can put the picture in, the stuff like that. And there's the audio format, which is a lot like GarageBand, but again, it's free. There's also a teacher can log in and create student accounts underneath that teacher so they can then view what the kids have created and everything. And again, concepts. This is free on the internet. They can use it at home, or they can use at school. So now you're not worrying about them using GarageBand and wanting to finish the project. They can't do it because they don't have the computer at home. So here's just an example, a couple examples I pulled from the web of stuff that people created. Pretty weird, huh? This one I thought was pretty cool. And you see how they took the 3 different pictures and they merged the 3? Pretty neat, huh? And then here's a quick example of like the beat maker. And you can do guitar, drums, you name it. But the kids can actually take time and intricately do this, or then you'll see. So I just did that randomly, right? But they can actually create their own beats and stuff like that. Then you could bring it into a GarageBand-like interface, and they could use those notes and really make a song. And there's pre-made songs and stuff like that, just like in GarageBand. Just not enough time to show you all that, but just give you a taste and see if you want to check that out. Wordplay. This is for Spanish teachers. I'm going to blow through this one a little bit quick. This is pretty cool. You can create a classroom and actually have your students reinforce your Spanish skills. So here's an example.
No. ¿Cómo se dice? How do you say? Muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
So I don't know if you can tell, but they're actually
Gracias.
clicking on which one it
Thank
is as
you.
it comes down to reinforce that skill. And it gets more
Muchas gracias.
expanded.
Thank you very much.
And does longer. But what a great way for a visual student to actually like just reinforce, or adults that you want to learn Spanish. Just a cool, and you can do this, again, this is free. You can do it yourself. You can create a class and have your students go into it as well. Cover It Live, and Scott's going to cover It Live for me.
Hi, I'm Scott Snyder, and Brandon asked me to take 30 seconds and talk to you about Cover It Live. When I have to set up a back channel or a chat room in my classroom, Cover It Live is often the tool I rely on, and here are a few reasons why. I like Cover It Live because it's quick to set up, it's embeddable on most websites, it's easy to use, no student registration is required for use, and comment moderation. And that's Cover It Live in a nutshell. Back to you, Brandon.
Thanks, Scott. All right. I've been using this for like 3 years, and he's like, is that retired yet? No, it's not. It's short, concise, to the point. Back channeling, moderated. He uses it in his classroom to actually have a silent chat on the readings the students are doing, where they actually reply to each other through like Twitter, like say so he'll say, all right, comment on what you just read last night for homework. Now comment. Now everyone posts. Now I want you to comment to 2 students in your classroom, and it's all silent. It's pretty amazing. Definitely a cool site for back channeling. All right, today's meet. I've seen this a lot this year, actually. This is just a real simple, quick back channel. Literally, I could create a back channel in less than a minute. You just go to today's meet. You say how long you want it to last. You can say 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. You create, create it, and anyone can go in it. There's no username or password. You just go in. You can have a chat, and that's where my questions are today. If you had a question for me while I'm going through this, just real quick and easy. Nice way just to collaborate off the fly. If you're not, wow, I really should have a back channel here, or have the students asking questions and talking to each other. This is a real quick and easy way to create that. Let's not skip ahead here. Posterous. This is a blogging site that I started using that I really like, because you can post from anywhere. I can post through an email. I can post through my cell phone. I can post on the web, of course. And it just, it's just like any other blogging site. But I like the fact that if I want to do a real quick post, I like the concept of blogging for teachers and administrators, for homework for students. Some teachers just put all their lessons and stuff, videos get embedded in there. If you don't, wikis are tough sometimes because they take a lot of time. But if you do a blog and you just post everything to your blog every day, then it just filters down, and you don't have to do a lot of the constraints and the GUI stuff with a wiki if you don't have a lot of time. And our time's precious, and wikis are fun, but they do take time. So a blog's an easy way to show homework to parents and students and share what you're doing in class in a quick and easy format that you could literally, as you're walking to your car, you could send through your phone, and it's posted there for your students to see. So I have a blog, and I'm a weird blogger. I'll go strong for like 30 days, and then I'll be like, I blog? No. So hopefully this summer, I'm going to probably, and I put a lot of my sites up here, so I am going to blog this summer some, and I'll probably go for another 30 days strong, and then you won't see me for a couple months. But that's, hey, at least I'd admit it, right? So it just takes a lot of time for me because I want it to be good. I'm not to that point where I can just throw stuff out there. I still need to like proofread it and stuff like that. Glogster. Glogster.edu, and I had some shirts they gave me, and I forgot to bring them, so sorry. So Glogster, great site that actually you can write visual posters for the students. So instead of having them written report, I just had a teacher do a review for the final, and instead of the students creating take a unit and then doing a review, they made a visual glog of it. So it just gives you an idea. It's a real visual format. You can put videos, audio, pictures in here. So kids much rather create something like this than creating just a written paper. And you can share this out on the web. So again, there's a classroom setting. There's a teacher and a class. I think you get up to 50 students free, and after that, there's a paid version. And students can then view each other's, and actually they can rate each other's as well. So it just gives you an idea of the different types of real visual. And I just did not give Glogster justice, but it's a really, really cool site, and kids really seem to like it. And if you notice, the front I used from my wiki, if you got there, that's a glog. So I use glogs a lot just in my wikis and stuff like that. Here's Josh.
Hello, my name is Josh Levinson from the Philadelphia Military Academy Elites, and I'm here to talk to you about DonorsChoose.org. This website allows teachers to write grants, and actually users are able to fund projects and search through projects. So it's a great way for you to enhance your classroom by adding materials, maybe some technology that you don't have. Once you create an account, basically what you can do is write your own grant proposals, and bidders can place bids. All you have to do in return is have your students write thank you notes to them. So here's a sample project that was just funded. It gave me a camera, a printer, and paper. So this is all there is to it, and it's a great website for you to use in the classroom.
All right, I'm short on time, so I'm moving on. All right, this is Triptycho. This is one of my really, really favorites. So this is cool. So these are interactive. You don't need an interactive whiteboard for it. You can just use a projector. These are the different list of the interactives he has. This is just a guy in England that's creating these and on his own. And He's unemployed right now. He's actually working to get a job, and he's created some great resources. So I'm hoping. But here's an example of the group selector and the student selector. So here I said 5 groups. I put my class of students in here. It automatically groups them for me. So no way students can get upset with you because because you've grouped it. Now I'm going quick because of time. This is a name selector, so you can put your students in there as well, and it will randomly pick one of your students. So now you all got to be on task because your name might be coming up, right? And then you can do it instantly, and that's instant right now, or you can do the thing that takes time. I find the instance better because the kids, that 3 seconds, they still get a little bit tired. Triptycho is a download, but it's definitely worth trying. O-Life, this is a new one, and I'm a little behind the time, so I'm going to speed up a little bit. This is really cool. So they actually send you an email every night to journal and ask how your life was. So I'm thinking, all right, as a teacher, if I just want to, journal how my teaching's going in my class, and the best thing is when it's every day, it sends you, well, last week this time you said this, so it reminds you, and then it will say, last year this is what you were talking about. So it highlights everything, and think about with students too. If you want them to journal, and it just sends them an email and says, hey, Life, oh yes, 8 o'clock, boom, I'm going to go ahead and journal what's going on. So just a real cool way to get them to journal through. It comes to you rather than you going to it. And I don't know about you. Sometimes I don't go to it. I want it to come to me, right? So, all right, Scribble. When I was talking about Schmoop, Scribble came to mind. This is a new site just added today, actually. Really awesome. So you see here, you can actually annotate, you can highlight, you can add notes right over on a website, okay? So, for instance, whoops, I'm skipping around. I have Web 2.0 Wikipedia. So that's what it looks like. If I come over here, I just see I've added a note. You sort of can't see it's washed out. I can highlight a Web 2.0. I changed the color of World Wide Web and collaboration. I highlighted head with the web, I think that says. I struck something out. But the cool thing about this, you can save it in a library, and you can also email it out and share it with students. So if you have a Schmoop document, you can actually highlight what's most important for the students to know. And then if they have an account, or they don't even need an account, they can actually just click on a link to see what you have. And it really feels like you're changing the website. You're not. It's just over top. And I know there's a lot of annotation websites out there, but I tell you, this is up and coming, and they just launched a couple months ago. Really powerful. Really impressed me. And definitely something to check out. And I think there's some even more good stuff coming from them as well. And they're also here today. So if you wanted to talk to them about it, I think they're in the back right corner. This is Quickie. This is cool. You put a search in, and it gives you a visual. So I put in Web 2.0.
The term Web 2.0 is associated with web applications that facilitate interactive systemic biases, interoperability, user-centered design, and developing the...
So as you can see, I'm not going to go through all of it here, but it's
Service
actually...
Web 3.0.
We'll do a search. I searched for myself. I'm not on there. So I was hoping, but no. So you can look on there and search for main words, so the kids, maybe not a good reader, they can actually go and learn about it in a visual format. Pretty cool site. Storybird, awesome. Authors provide their illustrations for free. Students can add the text, and they create these virtual books. So this is quite a silent thing, but so illustrations from the author, the text the student writes, and they can create a book. You can also pay $12, I think, now, and I think it's $12, and you can have the book sent to you as well. Another thing, if you like screencasting, have the student create a book, have them do a screencast, and read it. Now you have a digital story that you see, cross thing that you can share and put up on a web and share with the other students. And they're published now, and they're excited about that. So just a different way. So that's Storybird. QPrompter, this is pretty much just like a teleprompter. So have you ever had students, and they sit here and read like this, and they go, this is my report, and and you can't see what they're saying. They're not looking at the screen. Well, you can have this play on the computer, and they can actually read it. Looks like they're looking at the screen. And I've used 2 computers before sometimes, because if you use like Photo Booth, they sometimes give each other trouble. But it's really easy to use, and that's like a virtual teleprompter. Free play music, another quick one here. I'm going to get caught up. I can feel it. Free play music, it's pretty much the song that I played before. You know, all kinds of free music from artists that you can use in the classroom for podcasts. It's great to have kids create stuff, but maybe you create music and stuff like that. If you don't have the time, they can go here and find some really dynamic music. And have you ever heard even commercials where you're like people using the GarageBand tunes? Like, get something fresher in. You know, as long as it's for educational use. And you got to check, make sure they say it's for educational use on here, but they have free music you can use. Wolfram Alpha. Anything data. I guess they just had their year anniversary from what I saw. But this is anything data. So I decided, okay, I'm going to see if I'm overweight or not. So I put in my male, how much I weigh, and how tall I am. And then it actually told me my body mass index 30, told me I'm overweight. And then it gave me the graph. It's sort of hard to see here. And then it showed me in the scale. So I'm almost obese. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get my acting gear. Jeez, I thought I'm not too fat, right? But so that's just an example, and you can actually do your all kinds of different things. Data. I put today's data in a couple days ago, and it told me what happened on this day, who died, what's going on, what day it is in the year, anything data. Here, math. I put an equation up here, so kids can cheat now. They put in x squared, and it gives me that it's a parabola, and it gives me all the different things on here. And the last one. This gives you an idea. This is just the examples that they have on here. All the data, materials, people and history, culture. You put anything in, anything that has data, Wolfram Alpha has it. Pretty cool. Teach the kids a concept first, then send them there, because next thing you know, you're going to be getting copied stuff just from Wolfram Alpha, I'm sure. All right, Puppet Pals. This is this is an iPod app. You can do it on the iPad. It's one of my only apps I'm using. But I saw this at a conference earlier in the year, and I really liked it. My daughter, I downloaded her. My daughter's 6. She has made about 50 of these. So this is like Puppet Pal storytelling. So I told her she could be part of this, so this is a clip she created.
I am in the basement. It is scaring me so much. Don't be afraid. I do not bite, but I'm a vampire. I do not bite, but you're a vampire. I am not trusting a vampire.
All right, I kid you not. I said I need. Thanks. She'll get a kick out of here, and that you clap. I said, Jory, I need you to make a 30-second clip for me so I can use it. And she's like, okay. This was like 3 minutes long. I'm like, all right, I just have to clip out and everything like that. The cool thing about this, too, because I want to spend too much time on it, you can actually use Aviary, do the PNG file. You can actually, if you do the paid version, the free version gives you Western theme. If you do the paid version for $2.99, which is totally worth it in my opinion, you can actually put yourself in. And I wanted to do that. I didn't have time. But so think about if your students are doing something in history or whatever like that, they could actually, Puppet Pal, then do a play on the different characters using it. It's really easy. You do multi-touch with the, it's really, really, really cool site. Edmodo. Edmodo is like, you've probably seen it a lot here at ISTE. It's a lot like Facebook, but it's for education. So you have your classrooms, and the students can be grouped together. Teachers can share files. They can share homework. Kids can collaborate, they can ask questions, but it's in a protected environment, which is password protected. So, with Facebook, it's a little risky sometimes, but this really provides them a place where they can, collaborate and work together. And a lot of teachers, I know, really like this resource. Khan Academy. This is actually, I was late to the boat on this one. I guess this has been around for a while, and I just found out about it like a couple months ago. Awesome, awesome site. This gentleman has actually created these videos that are pretty much not flashy, not him. It's just him writing about information. Here, I have an example here. And, but the key thing is that this is good for differentiation. A student doesn't get a concept. They can actually, you can actually send them to whatever math or science or I think history now that they're going to, and just to say, hey, why don't you try this, watch it yourself, and you can reinforce what you're teaching in class. And there's so many good resources. Plus, I had to teach some teachers that hadn't taught this math concept in a while. They could go here and actually sort of relearn themselves. So, I'm not very good at calculus. I haven't done calculus since I was in high school. So, it's a great way even for adults too. And just, there's, I think, 20,000 videos. Don't quote me on that, but just a ton of videos that are available. So great for differentiation or just even looking to work on yourself. And his goal is to create as many videos as possible. I like that concept too for your own classroom. If you want, you can actually create videos of what you're doing in class with your students and have them asynchronously available for them. So if you're going too fast, like I'm going too fast today probably, and I'm being recorded, so you could actually go back and rewind me and pause me and stuff if you want. That's a good concept. Kids really like that because then they're not embarrassed by saying, can you repeat that? They can watch the same concept over and over and over again until they get it because it's an asynchronous environment. So pretty good concept. Live binders. This is a cool site. I really like it because it's tab-based. So you see there's different tabs. This is the thing on iPads. But here it actually, you have all these different iPads for schools, iPad special education, and then you can click on the different links. But you can bring in video, you can bring in websites, but you can put text next to them. So instead of sending the kids all out to the web, you can bring everything to them and have it embedded in. There's all these different templates and stuff that you can create. And I thought this, I haven't seen it yet, but I'd love to see a student make a portfolio. What a great way. You can bring in your own Google Docs. So if you have Google Docs, you can bring in Google Docs and do your writing. So if anything that changes, automatically changes through here. Syllabus for a teacher, if you're doing for a class, bring in the Google Doc. You can change that. It automatically comes up. So just a pretty cool, here's another example of a video and text. Okay, what are you going to do with Prezi? So this is the Prezi link. Create an account, and that tells you how to do it. It shows you a video on how to do it. All the different pieces of the web brought right in to the live binder. How am I doing on time? 32, 11:05. All right, not too bad. 3 minutes. Museum Box. This is a site that it's really what it says. You create these boxes, so I've seen mostly stuff for history, but you can do other things as well. So you show the boxes, and then within those boxes, you can put video, you can put pictures, you can put primary source documents and images. I probably said that already. And so you can click in and really look at the different artifacts. And, it feels like you're looking at artifacts. So just a quick and easy way students can create content to share with their classmates. Evernote. A lot of you are probably familiar with this. I absolutely love Evernote because I can take notes, and I have them on my phone, I have my home computer. They're synced everywhere. Any device I have has it, my iPad, you name it. I have Evernote on there. But the cool thing about it, you can take audio notes, you can take pictures, and the pictures will actually be, when you do a search, it'll actually search the images and the text on images as well. Pretty cool. You can also share notebooks with students. So if you have notes, maybe for a little higher level, you share your notes with the students so they don't have to worry about writing down notes. They could actually download them from Evernote, show those folders. So that's Evernote quickly. Primary Pad. Brooke's going to talk about Primary Pad.
Primary Pad is a collaborative word processor that allows up to 15 users to work together in real time. You do not need a username or a password to create a Primary Pad. Go to primarypad.com, create a new pad, and once you do that, you will be assigned a unique URL that you can share with anybody who you want to have access to the document. You will also be assigned a color. You can put your name next to the color so that other people who access this document know who is typing in purple. Once I delete this text and I type in my own, you will see that it's associated with the color next to my name. Once other users join this document and put their names in, they will also be assigned a color, and then their colors will show up as they edit the document under mine. On the home page, you can click on Teachers and Getting Started, and there are tips for how to use Primary Pad in your classroom.
It's like an Etherpad site. Awesome. There's a lot of them out there. Primary Pad has some really good resources for teachers, so that's why we chose that one. Plurk. Mark's going to talk to us about Plurk.
Scary old guy here. I'm here to tell you a little bit about Plurk. Plurk is the social networking site that I use. I don't tweet much because Plurk has all that I need. plurk.com. Again, I'm scary old guy. On Plurk, I'm connected with educators from all over the world. Originally, I started with just some people I met at a Discovery Summer Institute. And from there, it branched out to people from everywhere. You'll find lots of stuff. You'll share. Others will share with you. You will learn a lot. You'll have a blast. Give it a try. Plurk, PLURK.com. I am Scary Old Guy.
All right, Wikispaces. All of us have probably heard of Wikispaces. This is the site I use for my 1660. I just really like Wikispaces, so I have to mention it. You know, there's a free educators account. You can get an ad-free site that you can also make private for your students. You know, Wiki's been around for a while now, but you know, just I really like Wikispaces and the widgets you can embed and stuff like that. The Glogster's really, if you can embed Glogs right into it, video right into it, just Wikispaces is the site I use, and that's why I like to use Wikispaces, so that's why I suggested to people. There are other sites out there that are just as good, but I really like Wikispaces. JCut. JCut, this is simple. It's a free online editor for video. Bottom line, student wants to work on a video. They have a computer at home. You could actually have them work and create their video at school and at home. And it's a nice interface. They have some advanced features, not like you're going to get totally an iMovie, but they do have green screen effect where you can do the A and B. And I have a green screen thing there, so you can actually have the kids create green screen if you want. Just a really great video editor, which is free and online. Jing, I use Jing for screencasting. You get 5 minutes screencast. The free version just creates a Swift file, so be aware of that because Swift sometimes doesn't play well with like iMovie and stuff like that. The paid version is $15. You can do MP4s. That does play well with the different video editing sites. And I have not checked JCut to see how they work. I'll have to check that. But you know, it's a real quick and easy way. It's a little yellow ball in the upper right-hand corner. You select it, and you highlight where you want to screencast. You press record, and it goes right to the web, or you can download it on your computer. And I have an example of that screencast with Google Body. Google Body, I just got turned on to. Wow. Just watch.
This is Google Body. As you can see, you can go between a male and a female. And literally, if you pull this down, you can go through all the different layers of the human body. Now, this just pulls it all the way down to the brain. You can also come up here and you can switch and you can actually pull different parts away. So, and single out. If I want to single out the circulatory system, I can pull these out and just look at the circulatory system. There's a lot of other cool things you can do by pinning different items to see what they are. But in a quick snap, this is Google Body.
So, I mean, for anatomy teachers, I mean, you can actually see, and somebody told me they just added a cow, so it shows you that it's still adding, so you can actually see the anatomy of a cow now. But the breakdown here of the human body and to teach, I mean, and you can actually click on it, and what is this piece, and it shows you that piece is, you know, I mean, that just amazes me. The key thing with this, you need to use Firefox, the new Firefox 5, I guess they went to 5 now, or Chrome to see it. I think the older version of Firefox doesn't support the files here. Just be aware of that, but definitely a pretty cool site. PHET, I've used this for a while, and it's the first time I've shared it in 6060, but you know, they're actually, I met them, they're upstairs. What a great resource for science simulations. It's incredible. I have hundreds here of these simulations. So like this, you set yourself with how much food you're going to eat in calories, and you'll actually get fatter or thinner depending on how many calories you go through the day. It's great visual for the kids. Here I've used the kid, let's do a parallel circuit. Well, instead of getting all this, you know, the actual wires out and everything like that, you have the kids do this on the computer, and they can create their own circuit. This you can talk about the rotation of the Earth around the sun and play with different things, see how the moon moves and everything like that. And then there's also some games here, and you have to set the amount of weight and get it to slide down there with friction and try to go into the house and the door without going off the edge of the cliff there. So just a couple examples of the simulations, but if you're looking for science simulations, of course, awesome, and it's totally free. They're nonprofit, and it's really great. You just need to use Java to work with them. Quizlet, this is one of my absolute favorite. You know, virtual flashcards on steroids. Really, it is, because you can create your own flashcards that students can see, right? They can work. They can also learn where they actually will be asked to type in the word that goes along with it, so it takes it beyond the flashcard. And then, all right, Brandon, hurry up. And then you can also, they can play games. And there's a scatter game where they actually pull the whatever word it is and, and the definition or whatever goes along with it right into place. I don't know if I showed an example of that because I was trying to go quick. And then last but not least, you can actually hear.
Bias, slant, angle.
So they can actually click on that audio file, have it read to them. Or if they're more tactile, they can actually print off actual flashcards that they can see themselves. And also make sure you look on your textbook if you're a teacher and see if somebody's already created. I had an Arabic teacher that went on and found every single chapter of her book in flashcards for her students. She didn't have to create anything. So you can also share what you've created with other people and see what's on here. The other cool thing, if you have an iPad, I'm not sure about Droid yet, but you can actually do the flashcard app and get the flashcards right on your virtual device so the kids can study their flashcards on their mobile device as well. So that's Quizlet. Game Salad. I just found this one. This is awesome. Kids can actually create their own games. You know the game Angry Birds? This was created on Game Salad. So you can actually create your own like canon type game on here. And I've been playing with it, and I'm not anywhere close to showing you any example I created, but really cool. You have that student's real creative but a little disruptive. This is a great, and there's a lot of science and a lot of math and stuff like that goes along with this. It's complicated. I don't get it, but there's some kids that are using it that absolutely do. So this is the interface. You can actually make like this, I'm thinking of like Atari type stuff. It's even a little bit gooier than Atari. You can put your spaceships and like things that come at you and shoot them. And then here's the example, the cannon game. So you can set this cannon, put up like the things with Angry Bird, and there's a wide variety of different games that can be created. So once I get more into this, hopefully I'll have better examples, but definitely worth checking out. March to Success, real quick and easy one. This is really a free site for kids to reinforce their test skills in the weak areas. So if you're getting ready for the SAT or the PSATs, they use a lot in my school, kids can actually create accounts, they'll take assessments, and it'll actually focus on the areas that they're not doing well in and reinforce and give them questions to reinforce their weak areas. And the best part is free. I think it was created by the Army, if I might be mistaken, but it's absolutely free. And also as a teacher, you can monitor the students and what they're going on and sort of see how they're doing. And if they're just busting through and not really paying attention to it, you can tell that. So March to Success, definitely one to check out for testing. TinyURL, another quick and easy one. The key thing is maybe you don't have a website or a wiki for your classroom, and you have the computers, and you want the kids to get on a certain link. If I want you to go on a Google form later on today, you would have to type that huge URL in there. Kids are never going to be able to do that. But with TinyURL, you can take that really complicated URL and just make it to something that's a little bit easier for them to type in and make sense, right? So that's tinyurl.com. I use that a lot. It makes it easier to access the websites you want them to get to. All right, 4516. All right, I'm getting there. Multi-URL. So I was talking about multi-URL. Remember when I said you could, early on, if you were here, you could randomly have a site selected for you? So I put all this 60 in this multi-URL. Again, if you don't have a website or a wiki, you can share the links with your students by using multi-URL. So the nice thing about this, there's a toolbar. So the kids have to press over, and it keeps them in that, within multi-URL, so they can't go out to the web themselves. I guess they could if they typed the URL in, but it sort of keeps them constrained. You can do a browser list that we just saw, or you can do the random link. So say you want the kids to check out 15 sites, but you don't want them all go on the same site on a certain topic. Just have them do the random, and they're all being randomly put to different sites. Now, there's a couple kids might end up on the same one, but it's a good way to differentiate and send them to different areas to check out and maybe report back about what they learned. And so there's the tools, browser list, random link. All right, SideVibe. Brand new site that I was just turned on to. Really cool. It's like web questing. So you can create a teacher account. And the way this works is your students are under you. But so you can have, it's sort of hard to see there, but it's like this companion that goes over top. So if you wanted to take notes on a certain website, you can actually have what they're supposed to be looking for on that website, have a box for them to write the information you want them to write in, and they have the website right next to them that they can be looking at the same time. So instead of getting distracted, it's right there. So really, really pretty cool concept. The fact they can see their directions, write their answer, and see the site at the same time. And it's literally just a box that hovers over top. And you have kids watch a video. They can actually be watching a video. You can have guided questions. Sometimes administrators will get upset with kids watching videos, but if you have guided questions go along with it, things they're supposed to answer while they're watching the video to actually show how this is impactful on their, with the lesson. It's a real quick and easy way. And they've just launched a little while ago, and there's some really good stuff coming for here. Actually, they're around here this week as well. But really great concept. A lot of theory and research has gone behind this. So pretty cool site. Sumo Paint, I love this site for drawing. If students like to draw, again, you have a drawing program at school, they don't have it at home. Sumo Paint really looks like a program on your computer, but it's all web-based. And you can do almost everything. Bring images in, take images away, manipulate them, draw freehand. Here's a couple examples of some pictures that have been created with Sumo Paint. I didn't create this, but it just gives you an idea. Some of the detail and for a free site, it's pretty amazing. For the kids, kids and adults that are really into drawing. iPadio, this site. I haven't used much lately, but I like it because you can do podcasts from a mobile device, from your iPad, from different places. So if you want the kids to create a podcast, and it goes directly to the web. So if you want to, some people podcast in the car, they'll be driving and they'll talk about their day or whatever. I did that once. And here's an example of me just sending a...
Hey, this is Brandon, and I simply called in through the iPadio app, put in my number, and started creating a podcast. This podcast is created through my phone and will go directly to my app's iPadio site.
And it literally...
This is an example of iPadio.
It literally shows...
Signing off.
All right, interrupting myself. Never done it before. So it actually will just show up. So if you want to share information with students. So maybe you're at the zoo and the kids are sitting there and they want to record. I know cell phones sometimes are a no-no, but they want to record, and all of a sudden you have all their podcasts going to their experience at a museum or wherever. And you can now manipulate that, create like visual podcasts or video with that. Just a great way to capture audio mobilely. Tag Exito. This is a lot like Wordle, but I like it because you can do it in visual format. You can pick all kinds of different pictures that will fill in all the information. So there's one about Lincoln, about the world. Here, last time I did 1660, I took my survey, everything in the survey, and I popped it in there just to see what people had to say, because I had like 125 different responses. I wanted to just get an idea. So I was able to look at that and get an idea. And the 60, and I picked my own random image, but 60 and 60 is in there, but I guess with the projector it's not working great, but 60 and 60 is in there. So I got that responses. I could look at it real easy. Also, I had the students work with Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream speech. You could actually put this in the program. So let me back up for a second. So you actually take a website or something you've written or a bunch of text, put it into here, and it will randomly generate this word cloud. I sort of jumped ahead there. So I took the speech from the internet, I put it into Tag Exito, and I pressed create with the peace sign, and now with the students, before we even read that speech, I can say, okay, what word comes to mind? What's the biggest word? Freedom. Well, why would freedom be? Right? So it starts making them think about what they're about to read anyway. And then what word, comes up that you wouldn't think would be there? So you can start really getting them thinking about, in a visual format. So I love using word clouds, even just for me personally. Jeopardy Lab. Have you ever created a Jeopardy in PowerPoint? Yeah? It's over. It's over. You're never, ever going to use PowerPoint ever again. This is one of my absolute favorites. Jeopardy Labs, you actually can create your own Jeopardy game, and it's real easy to fill in. The key thing is, you don't have to create an account. I suggest you do. If you don't create an account, make sure you copy the URL. If you don't, you're going to lose it. It's going to be gone forever. I've done that. So you want to make sure you copy the URL or just create an account so it remembers it. I think it might cost a little, though, to create an account, just a few bucks. Definitely worth it. So once you've created your game, you can set how many teams you want. All the numbers come up, and only the numbers that you filled in come up. So if you only want to do like one row, only one row of the Jeopardy is going to come up. And then you see the example of the problem, and then you click on correct response to say what is 210. One thing I suggest with Jeopardy, I don't like it when just one student is answering on a Jeopardy game. I think it's better when, if you group the students, they all get to answer and they all get the points because they're all engaged. I've seen classes where they just do one student and the rest of the kids are not paying attention. So just with Jeopardy Labs, group them, have them all be able to answer in written things or even on something on the computer, but engage them all the whole time. But this is awesome, awesome site. You can book me. This is pretty cool, thinking of like parent-teacher conferences or like me as a coach. I'll actually, I've tried this a little bit with having people pick out when they want to meet with me. So like this connects to my Google Calendar, and I can put the URL, blank out the times I don't want them. Somebody say, oh, wow, I want to meet with Brandon at 11:08. They click on it, they put their name in it, automatically goes to my calendar. They want to meet with me. Now, my problem was I go to multiple schools. Well, it's sort of hard for me to go 30 minutes away from one school to the other in 3 minutes. So that was the issue I had. But if you think for parent-teacher conferences and stuff like that, parents can then sign up and just automatically goes on there, and they're set up for whatever time. Or if you're doing like conference calls or stuff like that, really quick and easy way to book, and just youcanbookme.com or youcanbook.me. Twiddler, this is a, all right, 6 minutes. Twiddler, this is a site that I'm going to go quick. It's a collaborative space. You can bring web pages, slideshows, Etherpad, documents, and images, and you can work on them all together at the same time. I think up to 15 people. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's up to 15 people can come in. And there's audio, and they can talk and collaborate. It's a great way for students to work together on different locations, or even in the same location. I've had kids work just side by side, but on the same screen in the same room, but they all have a keyboard and mouse that they can be adding content to. Google Voice. So, some teachers like to give their phone numbers out to the students, which is sometimes a no-no. So with this, you can actually create a Google Voice number, and like mine's literally 267-702 Lutz. I could actually put my last name on there. So I could easily share that number of students, and you can actually connect it to your phone, but it will actually pause them and say, listen, put your name, and you'll say, so-and-so's calling, do you want to accept? You say no, it sends them right to their visual voicemail. You say yes, you can take the phone, so they don't know your real number. Pretty cool. And I actually had a teacher that had the kids call in about the State of the Union address, and right after they watched it, they got to call in, and they left a message they could listen to the next day. So it's sort of like pretty powerful. And then I have a Spanish teacher that has the kids call in their Spanish homework.
This is me, Burnley, from second period. Yeah. I'm about to recite my sentences. Luego el autobús del 18 hacia la escuela. Second one. Tomo el tren.
You get the idea, right? Pretty cool, right? Time Toast. Quick one. This is just a timeline software. I love using this. You can have your whole class create like one part for the timeline and create a class timeline, or you could have your students create their own timeline. But the key thing is they accumulate their date, what went on that date, and an image. And then they can put it on there, and you create your timeline. So if you're talking about the Civil War, you could actually create a timeline about the Civil War and create it as a group, and then put it on a wiki or have the link for the kids through a tiny URL and have them be able to look at for study for a test. But every kid has a part of it. They feel like they've created part of it. SchoolTube, great site. I would love TeacherTube. TeacherTube has been a little boggy, so I went to SchoolTube. And the nice thing about this is password protected. So you can create like a school TV channel that's only certain people can have access to. So if you want your students to create their own videos and do school news and stuff like that, but you don't want them out on the web, SchoolTube really provides a nice interface to do that. And you have to register your school on SchoolTube, and you create your own channel. And then there's a video I watched. It's pretty funny. I wish I could show it. But they did this thing. They're talking about, I forget, something in their school and singing and sharing. But really great way to share video. Kick.com. Do I have time? I might skip this video because we're running out of time. But Kick, you can stream live video from your phone or from your iPod, or I think in your iPod, your iPhone, your iPad. So you can actually, on the video, I actually do a live stream, and you see me in the background. It's a little delayed, but I use this. So my in-laws couldn't get to a concert, so I set it up. They could watch the concert live on the computer, an hour away, and see what was going on through my phone, through live cast. So think about with your classroom. I know this, you got to think about copyright and stuff like, or not copyright. You have to think about, putting students' likeness on the internet. It is protected, But you got to be careful about streaming that stuff. But pretty cool way to stream like events. So maybe you have something in class parents can get to, but you can during their lunch they could actually watch. So you could actually do something for parents using Kick in the classroom. So real cool way to stream video through your mobile phone. And I'm sorry, Brandon. All right, Rubistar, great site for rubrics, right? Any project kids do, you should have some type of rubric for them so they know what's expected, right? Or even have kids create their own rubric, right? So, and usually they're harder on themselves, right? So just to give you an idea, these are some of the types of rubrics that are already created. And you can actually click on it and select all the different topics you want for those. I usually only do like 5. I think after 5, kids start to get a little overwhelmed. And like here's just an example of a rubric I did for, I forget, multimedia projects. So, okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. So they know what's expected. Real quick and easy way to make a rubric. Test Moz, this is actually the same people from Jeopardy Labs that created this. This creates a real quick and easy test. If you just want something that's going to be real simple, the kids can take online, you literally can create a test here, and it's multiple choice, checkbox, true or false, and then direct answer, right? They can type in their own answer. And then it will grade it for them, actually tell them how they did and what they got. And I forget, I think they need to, I think you can, yeah, you can see the results from the students on there as well. And you don't need a password for that either, although I suggest you do a login. All right, look at that, I got caught up. NGrade. The reason why I use NGrade at the end, this is like, it used to be just for grading. It's really like a student portal now. And this provides, grade book, messaging, homework calendar, quizzes. A lot of these sites that I've been sharing with you, it brings them all into one, and it's absolutely free, and they say it's going to stay free. Great site. The other thing, you can actually have students hand in work to you through that, and you can grade it right in NGrade, and it goes right into the grade book. I know a lot of schools now have their own grade book and stuff like that, but I'm saying even if they have their own grade book, maybe don't use the grade book portion, but just and the wikis, I didn't get in the wikis, and they have flashcards in there. You can actually create your lessons in a wiki that students can visit and access the information and what you've learned and take that, your lesson outside the classroom so they can continue to learn. So really cool site, NGrade. So a challenge to you. I'm looking to sort of grow 1660, and I want to see if anyone has a site that I didn't have up here, or you think you could do it better than me, which I'm sure you could. Give me, if you want to send me a 60-second video of your favorite site, I'm going to create a section on my wiki that has, it's going to be called 1660 60 seconds, and it's going to be just a 60-second look at a favorite tool. And I'm hoping we can create a resource, sort of like the Khan Academy, just the web tools that you use in your classroom to share with other teachers. And if it's really good, maybe it will show up in another 1660 session if I'm lucky enough to present again. It will show up in there. And last but not least, Google Forms. I absolutely love Google Forms. I have a survey for myself. I really take your input to heart, and I try to make my presentations better by hearing what you have to say. So if you could, not right now if you don't want, or now if you want, if you could take tinyurl.com/60and60 ISTE 2011, and it's also the orange on the wiki as well. You can click on there. Take the survey for me. Let me know what you thought. Just give me an idea of anything I can change, how I can make it better. The cheat sheet came from a suggestion somebody gave me for my last session. So I really look at that, and please share with what you have. Thank you so much for coming.